What happens exactly when you hold in and suppress your emotions? Do they just get bottled up inside? Do they go away eventually? Will ignoring them cause new emotions to enter and take their place? Well, a lot of things happen, and in this video we're going to talk about what happens when you do hold in your emotions and what to do instead that will help you to create a better life. Let's get right to it. Holding in your emotions can be disastrous. It can cause them to be bottled up and come back when you least expect them to, especially at times where you really don't want them to come back up into your life. And take it from me. I'm 27 years old, but when I was 20 to 21 years old during that time period, that was really the turning point in my life. Because for the past 2 years, when I was 19 and 20, I held in all of the negative emotions that I was experiencing. I was doing really well for myself externally. I had a nice car, I had my beautiful wife, I had all the things that I wanted, I had the guitars, I had all the computers, the games, whatever it was that I wanted. But I didn't have that feeling of internal happiness, that feeling of internal satisfaction. And instead, I felt sad. I felt down, I felt depressed, I was constantly anxious. It even got to the point where I was afraid to leave my apartment because I didn't want to see people I knew because I had gained a ton of weight. I was like 60 pounds heavier than I am now. I was in extreme credit card debt, yet I was in a position of leadership with my company, teaching people how to make more money, yet I was the person in debt. I felt like an imposter. I felt like a hypocrite. And rather than address these disempowering emotions and low vibration states, I just bottled them up and I pushed them deeper. And I kept saying to myself, if I just keep going, things will be okay. If I don't address these emotions that hold me back, then they will just wash away. They'll disappear with time. But as you can expect, that's not what happened. Right? It got to the point where I started to self-sabotage practically every area of my life. My wife found out about all the credit card debt that I was in, and we had quite the conversation about that. I was about to leave my high-paying job because of my own insecurities and my own downfalls and my own mistakes that I made because of all these emotions that I just held in versus addressing them the way that I should have addressed them. But listen, I didn't have anybody in my life to tell me what route I should go. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't even read personal development books. This is before I even discovered the world of personal development, which is something that you already know about because you're on this video right now. And you're here because you want to make a change. You're here because you're tired of holding in these emotions. Listen, whatever you're experiencing, it's completely normal. It's completely okay. We're human beings who all have the same nervous system. We all experience the same emotions. It's just that some people experience some emotions more than others. Like I experienced depression a lot more than other people were experiencing depression. And I really don't experience that as much anymore. There will be some times in my days where I'll feel down, I'll feel depressed. But now I have the muscle, the mental strength and clarity in order to get myself out of that disempowering state to feel the way that I want to feel. And in this video, I'm going to give you those same strategies. But what happened for me was I was about to leave this high-paying job, and I then had a coach who entered my life who said, Brandon, you don't want to do this. Read this book. It will completely change the game for you. And the book I read was from a awesome lady named Rhonda Byrne. It's called The Secret. And the book essentially says that your thoughts become things. Your emotions become your thoughts, which turn into a physical realization of whatever those emotions are. So as you can expect, the emotions I had were disempowering, so I was manifesting all these disempowering things and situations and opportunities and even negative friends into my life because that was what I was projecting. And I read this book, and it was the turning point for me because it taught me how to deal with my emotions, not just push them deep down, not just try to hold them in hoping that they'll leave, but the book taught me to address them. And the book taught me to rewire my mind in a way where I experienced more high vibration emotions. And the first tip that I have for you right now, someone who is currently holding in their emotions, who wants to feel better on a daily basis, is to never suppress your emotions. If you're feeling down whether it's for a day or a month or maybe a year or longer, depending on the situation that you're in. Don't suppress your emotions. Address them. Don't suppress, address. Be aware of how you feel. Because again, how you feel, it's completely fine. You're not broken. You're a human being who's trying to find their way in this world to express their gifts, express their talents, to take what you have and to help other people with those unique abilities. Because I believe that you're unique. I believe that you are naturally gifted, but I also believe that you've learned things throughout your life that make you extremely valuable. You have a message in you that needs to get out to the world, but the reason why you're experiencing these feelings and these emotions that you've been holding in is because it's strengthening you for what's to come next. Right now, you're being molded and strengthened to become the next improved version of you. And without these hardships, without these disempowering emotions and states, you wouldn't turn into who you're going to turn into. You wouldn't even have a story worth telling. I wouldn't even be here right now talking with you if I didn't go through that stage of depression and anxiety and everything else that came with it. I wouldn't be here. But I read a book and I found mentors who helped me to get out of that situation. So remember, don't suppress, address. Address what you're feeling. Take your journal, take a piece of paper, write down all of these feelings that you have on a daily basis. And if it's mostly negative stuff, that's okay, right? You're not a bad person because you might feel bad some of the time. It just means that you've practiced emotions that are showing up more because you've gotten better at them. It's like going to the gym and working out. Right? If you do bench press every day, every week for the next year, you're going to have a bigger chest, right? Your triceps are going to be bulging. And the same thing with your emotions. If you practice positive, high vibration emotions more of the time, you're going to get better and better and better. But the first step, though, isn't just to start thinking positively and suppress your emotions. The first step is to address how you currently feel. Write it down. And then just take one step each day to feel some way different, to feel a positive emotion or even a neutral emotion, something different than what you've been feeling. Because our goal here is not to suppress, but it's to rewire your nervous system in a way where you feel good more of the time. Now hold on just a minute. I just noticed that you weren't subscribed to the channel. So go down here, hit that red subscribe button, and then next to it, hit that bell. When you hit the bell, you're turning on notifications so you see all the new videos that we release on this channel every single week. Now let's get back to it. My challenge to you is this. Write down every single day the way that you feel. Bring a journal with you. Go to the Notes app on your smartphone, because I know you got one, and type in how you feel on an hourly basis. Ask yourself the question, how do I feel right now? And if the question is, I'm feeling kind of down, I'm feeling kind of tired, I'm feeling kind of lethargic, then write it in your Notes app. Okay, don't just say, oh, I need to think something positive to get rid of this emotion, because by doing that, you're suppressing it. And when you suppress negative emotions, they always show up later. Believe me, they'll show up and they'll be even stronger than they were before. I don't say that to scare you, because if you follow these strategies that I'm sharing with you here, you will feel better in the matter of months. It took me about 6 months to go from the place I was at when I was 21 years old to losing the weight. I lost 60 pounds in 6 to 8 months. I eliminated all of my credit card debt within 8 months after making this mental shift that I've talked to you about in this video. And I know that you can do the same thing. And what I want to do is I want you to watch this video next, because this video is about how to not let emotions run your life. And I share more tips and strategies for what I personally did to get out of that spot and into a much better place emotionally. And until we talk again, continue to be better.